Welcome to this short webinar, Exploring Bullying, presented by myself. I'm Foxley-Johnson and I run the Anti-Bullying Company. Just a little bit of information about my company. We've been around this area for about 10 years and worked in the whole anti-bullying sector for the past 20 years. We offer a variety of sessions and we work in partnership with Rotherham Schools Improvement Service and independently. We believe that if we educate people about the impact of bullying and the power of kindness and respect, we dedicate our workshops to promote kindness and develop personal responsibility, and we motivate children and young people to make change themselves. We believe that if we teach kindness, acceptance and respect from a young age, then we're modelling the citizens and the upstanders of the future. So what is bullying? Well, as an Anti-Bullying Alliance member, we define bullying as the repetitive intentional hurting of one person or group by another person or group where the relationships involves an imbalance of power. So basically, the bullying behaviour is directed at someone, the target of the bullying, making the person feel powerless, and the person doing the bullying, often referred to as the bully, feeling powerful. Quite often, it's a grey area between bullying and falling out, so we're just going to clarify that for you. So as you can see, bullying is repeated hurtful behaviour. It's deliberate, it's done intentionally, it's planned. It's about that imbalance of power, so it's one-sided. So the person is doing something to the other person is not doing anything in return, and no independent effort is made to resolve the issue from the person delivering the bullying behaviour. When you look at how that compares to falling out with a friend, it happens now and again. It's accidental. It's equal power, so both parties take part in a negative way. So they say something to them, they say something back, and it escalates. And of course, when children and young people see their friend the next time, there's an independent effort made to resolve the issue. When we're talking about the main 4 types of bullying, they come under these headings. So verbal bullying, basically any type of bullying that is used by somebody's mouth. Name calling, quite common. It could be threatening comments or abuse based on real or perceived differences. We've got physical bullying, so any type of bullying that involves their body. And obviously this isn't an exhaustive list, there can be many varieties, it's just the main 4. Indirect bullying, which is emotional, it's behind somebody's back. And online cyberbullying, and that's where the misuse of digital technologies or communications is there to bully a person or group, and many parents are concerned about that behaviour as they see it being something that's getting out of control. So following on from online bullying, I thought it'd be useful for me to share what we share with young people when we go to schools. It's the 3 steps of dealing with online bullying themselves. So we call it the 1, 2, 3 approach. So the first thing we ask people to do and children to do is to snap it, take a screenshot to save the evidence. That way then they can show it, to tell someone that they trust and show it to them so they can help block and report. So they could well screenshot it, bring it to you. You could then say, right, we need to report this to the app or website where the behaviour's happened and block the person from doing it. And finally, most importantly, for mental health and well-being, step away from it. Put the phone down, take time out, do something you enjoy to make you feel happier. We keep those simple steps. So that's what I advise children to do. For parents, for further information on online bullying, you might want to download the National Online Safety Centre app. It's free to download on Apple or Google Store, and it will give you a variety of information that you can use to help keep your child safe online. So, what can you do? So I'm just trying to give you some top tips really. Quite often if your child has been bullied, it's about restoring their self-esteem. So if your child experiences bullying, always try and outweigh the negative with a positive. So remember their self-worth. When someone says something bad about them, teach your child to say something positive about themselves. They can do that internally or with you. Projecting confidence. Teach your child to tell the person bullying how they feel, why they feel the way they do and what they want to do. So for an example, we go with teach them this in a calm and determined voice. I feel angry when you call me names because I have a real name. I want you to start calling me my real name. Disarming with humour. Quite often this is useful for teenagers. Teach your children to laugh at the bully's threats and walk away. Staying safe and telling an adult. It's obviously highlighted in red because this is the most recommended way. If they ever think they are unsafe, they should walk away from the situation and tell an adult what has happened. And obviously, treating others with kindness. Teach your child to stand up for others who are being bullied or feel alone and ask them to stand up for them. And also that line that I'm sure we're all very familiar with, teach your child to treat others the way they want to be treated. What else can you do? Talk to your children about how they treat others who are younger or less able or different from themselves. So when they're watching TV, when they see somebody who's different, have those conversations. Oh, how do you think that would, how would you feel if you had a friend like that? What would you do, etc. Encourage your children to think about how others feel. Tell them that they can help stop bullying by befriending and supporting children who are less able or less resilient to cope with teasing. So you might have a really confident child and they're friends with somebody who's less confident, and that's how they support one another. And quite interestingly, by the age of 3, your child is ready to learn tricks that will help them feel more empowered in difficult situations, including when being faced with bullying behaviour. So a good one is to tell your child to practice looking in the colour of their friend's eyes and do the same thing when they're talking to a child who's bothering them. This helps confidence. Obviously, if you are a parent of a neurodivergent child or a child that finds eye contact difficult, that strategy wouldn't work. But being able to just say, this is what I would like to tell you, or this is what I don't like. So going back to that statement from the previous slide, I don't like what you're saying to me, don't say it to me. Bullying behaviour can happen at any age. And again, children want to copy us, copy our behaviour. So check your own actions, lead by example, and think about teasing and banter around people who are maybe not as strong as you. If your child reports bullying, quite often in schools, children tell us that they're reluctant to tell us because they think that parents are going to go into school and make a fuss or make it worse. So it's the complete opposite of what you probably want to do, but try and remain calm and make sure you gather all the facts relating to the incident. Share any information if it's available, for example, any names, dates, lists, screenshots of the online bullying. Then make an appointment to see the class teacher first. And if you haven't already got a copy, ask for a copy of the school's anti-bullying and behaviour policy so you can ensure that school are following the agreed procedures. It also helps you understand what those steps will be. I'll be talking about that on the next couple of slides. And remember to take time to allow school to deal with the incident. Keep in touch with the school and keep communication lines open. And if the bullying doesn't stop, speak to the head teacher and make that appointment and discuss next steps. As part of our company's role, we do provide schools with some pathways that they could use to help them deal with bullying. Whilst all schools might not use them, they'll probably have something quite similar. So this is our recommended pathway. So step 1, this is what would happen for children. A person's bullied, so that could either be the child bullying directly themselves or a member of the school community reports the bullying on their behalf. And what should usually happen is a meeting takes place between the target and the appropriate adults in school. And that's where we're going to support the child or young person, clarify the facts, suggest ways forward, and have a review time. Parents are usually not involved as that first step. That will come after step 2. Because designated adult leads will then have the interviews or conversations depending on the age of the children. Action strategies are then agreed. Parents are informed and the policy is shared if you haven't already got it, and you've got your short time review. That's when you have your feedback either verbally by telephone or an email, or by in person, which is even better. Step 3, agreed actions then take place. So it might be some restorative justice, it might be peer support, there might be some buddy support, there might be some external agent support, I might come in and do some sessions with the school. That's what's going to happen. So the person doing the bullying has been spoken to, the person being bullied has been spoken to, and so they've had their sanctions, and the person being bullied will have some strategies to help them cope and develop some self-esteem. Incident resolved? Brilliant. Incident not resolved? Then you can ask for a letter of the school's complaint procedure if you feel they haven't dealt with it particularly clearly, or the head teacher and chair of governors would maybe ask for support from the local authority or an academy sponsor. In the same vein as that one, this is what for parents and carers, we've developed this. So step 1, you contact the school and report the bullying allegation. At that meeting, step 2, when you have your meeting with the appropriate member of staff, you will have the anti-bullying policy. That's when you can ask for it. You can take your evidence in, what you know. You can discuss with the teachers what you'd like to happen. They'll discuss what they're doing, what they can't do, what they can do. Step 3 will be your review meeting, phone conversation or email. And then step 4, if it's resolved, they will be continually monitoring the situation for all parties. There will be another review, feedback to parents. And if that's all fine, brilliant. But if it's not, step 4B is the parent carer will then, that's you, contact the head teacher, have another interview, conversation, and you could then ask for the details of the LA complaints officer or the details of the academy sponsor CEO. So we're just trying to keep it quite simple for you. So this is what should happen should your child experience bullying. But obviously check your child's school anti-bullying policy for this. Usually downloadable on the school website. The news nobody wants is if your child actually engages in bullying behaviour themselves. It is shocking, but it can happen, okay? As difficult as it may be to process that this has happened, it's important that we address it straight away. Children quite often engage in this behaviour, they're feeling powerless in some way, and they're just trying to gain some control. It doesn't mean that they're bad, it's not a label, it's just a behaviour. So we can address that behaviour by all sorts of things in school. There might be some workshops, they might have a learning mentor, you would work with them. Whether the bullying is physical or verbal, it's really important that we stop it and address it so that your child doesn't develop that as a behaviour trait as they develop and grow. My top tips: take bullying seriously. It's not part of growing up. It shouldn't be acceptable. It's not a rite of passage. So take it seriously. Remember that you as the adult are the ones that they look up to the most. Teach your children to treat others with kindness and respect and kindness. Have those conversations about your child's social life, who they hang out with, who are their friendship groups. Always encourage that good behaviour. And finally, set a good example. They'll obviously copy you. They'll want to see how you act in social situations. If you should like any further information, you can click on my website, the Anti-Bullying Co. If you look at the Anti-Bullying Co there, it'll come up with that picture and you'll find me, and there's a contact me page. Also, there's some information for parents and carers and some videos you could watch with your children. Many thanks for watching this short webinar today, just to give you that outline of how you might deal with bullying behaviour, how things should happen in a school, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.